Tavares. Right in the butt?
What?
No.
Less than a minute now.
Tool time for 200.
This term for a long-handled gardening tool can also mean an immoral pleasure seeker. Ken?
What's a hoe?
No.
Spell garbage.
Garbitch.
What's going on, everybody? It's Monk Dan. I'm just happy to be streaming right now. I'm thankful to be streaming, man. And I'm thankful that you're checking out the video. If you are new to the video and if you are a subscriber, man, all I ask is that you hit the like button, send me some comments. And if you have not done so, go ahead and subscribe. What I like to do on my channel is I like to seek and share wisdom through philosophy. Yo, so check it. If you didn't know, I read books. And one of the books that I'm reading right now, The One Thing, the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results by Gary Keller with J. Papasan. Yo, man, this dude here comes out of the gate swinging, man. I'm in chapter 6 right now. The title of chapter 6 is A Disciplined Life, right? Gary Keller says, you know that disciplined life that you talk about, people talk about? It's a lie.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
You don't find that suspicious? Man, this dude here breaks all of, this dude is breaking, the mindset that people have that we've been groomed to accept. Man, Gary Keller says that disciplined life bullshit that people talk about, that's a lie. Man, let's get into it, man. Let me just go and get right into the funk. Chapter 6, man. He starts off hitting heavy, man. Check this out. He says, there is this pervasive idea that the successful person is the disciplined person who leads a disciplined life. He says it's a lie. Check this out. He says, the truth is we don't need any more discipline than we already have. We just need to direct and manage it a little better. Yo, are you that person? I know, before I read this book and before I got into chapter 6, one thing that I've always thought and then I heard, man, you got to be disciplined, man. You want to, how about this? You want to lift those weights. You want to be this great, have this great physique and blah, blah, blah. You got to eat your macros. You got to eat your protein. You got to do this. You got to do all these things, right? Man, Gary Keller says all that bullshit people talking about is a lie, bro. And just a side note, we do know that no shout out to bodybuilders and all of those people that lift weights, man. We know that them motherfuckers be cheating. But anyway, man, let's get into it, man. So check it. I'm gonna read quite a bit from this. It's not a long chapter, so it won't be a long stream. Contrary to what most people believe, success is not a marathon of disciplined action. Achievement doesn't require you to be a full-time disciplined person where your every action is trained and where control is the solution to every situation. I'll read that last sentence one more time. Achievement doesn't require you to be a full-time disciplined person where your every action is trained and where control is the solution to every situation. Wow. So you don't have to be this full-time disciplined person, man. You don't have to be 24/7, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to be this real stern stick. I have to stick to the, you don't have to be all of that, man. He says success is actually a short race, a sprint fueled by discipline just long enough for habit to kick in and take over. Ooh, and that's important, bro. Wow. He's saying it's just short term, man. It's a short term, it's a sprint. Success is actually a short race, a sprint fueled by discipline, just long enough for habit to kick in. You got to get the habit. That is the secret sauce right there. The habit. Wow. Wow, man. The things that we don't know, the things that successful people, bro, they see all of these things, bro. I be hearing these people, man. I'm not gonna say this person's name, but this is a person, a celebrity, and he talks about he wakes up early and he does all of these things, and I'm like, okay, I mean, but damn, I mean, not that I'm shitting on a person's lifestyle and how they maintain their success or even how they get to their success, but I'm like, bro, just because that's your choice, I don't want to wake up every day to the break of dawn and blah blah. I was in the military, so I understand about waking up early, which I have no problem with. But what if I have a different route to success? Right? I'm a railroader, right? My lifestyle is different from someone else's. So I can't always wake up at the break of dawn or before the break of dawn. What if I'm already up? Like last night when I was working and my coworker was like, man, it's too early for this shit. Like we got called at 03:35 in the morning. So we got called to be on duty at 03:35, but we were already up before then. So you have to prepare your day before you get to work. So I'm like, yo, like, so just because the person says they get up at 0500 in the morning, they walking and running, exercising, they doing all these things, but I'm like, okay, that's your lifestyle to success. But I'm like, bro, my lifestyle doesn't operate that way. So what are you trying to tell me? But I appreciate Gary Keller for saying this, bro. It's habit. It's the habit that is the secret sauce behind this, man. Let me read a little bit more. When we know something that needs to be done but isn't currently getting done, we often say, I just need more discipline. Actually, we need the habit of doing it. And we need just enough discipline to build the habit. It's the habit, not the discipline, man. It's the habits that we have to adapt ourselves to, getting used to doing whatever it is that we need to do. It ain't about just waking up at 0500 in the morning, bro. It's not all about that. Sure, that's nice to have, but it's the habit of making sure that you get up, if that's the route that you want to take, of getting up at 0500, blah, 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 blah. Man, Gary Keller is on it. Here's another part that I highlighted. When you discipline yourself, you're essentially training yourself to act in a specific way. When you discipline yourself, you're essentially training yourself to act in a specific way. Stay with this long enough and it becomes a routine. And in other words, a habit. So when you see people who look like disciplined people, what you're really seeing is people who've trained a handful of habits into their lives. This makes them seem disciplined when actually they're not. No one is. Man almighty, man. Gary Keller, bro. This dude is, I like this. I like his style of writing, man, because he's breaking these bullshit ass myths that we have, man. When we look at these people, athletes, and he mentions an athlete, Michael Phelps in here. And I don't know, I don't want to talk about the man's situation, but we'll talk about what's written in the book. But man, like, I love that, man. I love that. These very wealthy people, man, they get on the mic and they get up here talking all this shit. Gary Keller is like, man, that motherfucker is not disciplined, bro. All that person has done is put themselves in a position to where habit has taken over. Habit has taken over, not the discipline. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. They may have some discipline to involved in their success, but it's the habit, the routine that got them there, man. And he says no one is disciplined, bro. Man almighty, nobody is disciplined. Man, I love this, dog. I'm like, yo, thank you, bro. I don't know about you, but man, these motherfucking wealthy people, bro, they talk all of this high mighty ass shit, bro. Bro, discipline is a lot. It's the habit that they have that's gotten them to where they are. It's the drive, that habit, that routine, bro. Here you go. Let me read some more, man. You don't need to be a disciplined person to be successful. Come on, man. And they talk about these successful people. I mean, you have to have discipline. Man, Gary Kellogg says you don't need to be a disciplined person to be successful. In fact, you can become successful with less discipline than you think. For one simple reason, success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. I will read that one more fucking time. You don't need to be a disciplined person to be successful. In fact, you can become successful with less discipline than you think. For one simple reason, success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. Ooh, that's heavy, yo. Just get that one right thing. Get that one fucking right thing. Whatever that may be. I don't know what your goals are. I have my goals. Bruh, he said just get the one right thing. Just success is about doing the right Success is about doing the right thing. Do the right thing. It's not all about doing every fucking thing right, bro. I love it, yo. The trick to success is to choose the right habit and bring just enough discipline to establish it. That's it. Wow. The trick to success is to choose the right habit. Man, I gotta choose the right habit, man. What's gonna get me over the top? What habit is going to get me over the top? I gotta think about that, man. Like, once again, I want to be wealthy, man. I want to enjoy my life, man. I want to travel, bro. I want to be able to explore and enjoy, roam the world, man, and enjoy the benefits, the luxury, enjoy the pleasure, the fine things, bro. I've been poor fucking my whole fucking life. Bruh, I just got to find the right thing, the right habit to get me to where I need to be. That's all discipline. That's all the discipline you need. As this habit becomes part of your life, you'll start looking like a disciplined person, but you won't be one. Come on, man. Come on, man. These celebrities, these wealthy people, bro, they're not disciplined, bro. They got foul fucking lives. They do some debaucherous, they do some crazy ass shit, bro. But they do one fucking thing that establishes that habit for success. They won't tell us that shit, bro. They won't tell us the behind the scenes, man. These are some horrible people, bro. Some horrible fucking trash human beings, bro. But they do one thing well, man. It was a video I played. It reminds me of a video I played with I believe his channel is called on YouTube, The Diary of a CEO. Shit. I never can remember to get this guy's name, but he interviews very wealthy people, right? And I did a stream about him. He had interviewed the godfather of AI, right? But one I'm bringing him up is because one of the individuals he interviewed was Kevin O'Leary, right? And Kevin O'Leary was telling about a story. I didn't know this. Kevin O'Leary worked for Steve Jobs. I believe that's what he said he did. He worked for Steve Jobs. And in a nutshell, Kevin O'Leary was saying, yo, Steve Jobs wasn't a nice person. He wasn't a nice person. Now, am I equating nice and discipline the same way? Am I connecting the two? I'm not trying to do so. What I am saying is that we establish discipline to be a moral life, if you will, a pleasing life. Religious people, man, they talk about Jesus all the fucking time. They talk about Jesus all the time.
Jesus said and Jesus went. Oh, yeah. Jesus heard and Jesus walked over. Oh, yeah. Jesus. Yeah. Jesus. But I don't want to talk about Jesus this evening.
I don't want to talk about Jesus. But you know, that type of lifestyle, when you think of someone that's disciplined, like meaning they don't partake in debauchery, or they don't do things that'll take them off of their path to success. I'm trying to keep it that way because I don't want this to get to a moral argument or moral conversation. But Kevin O'Leary he gave an insight of Steve Jobs. He was like, he's a horrible person. He's disciplined. He had all his money and so on and so forth. But Kevin O'Leary was like, yo, you're a terrible person. Like they're human. They're human. They can have a 999 bad habits, but they have that one particular habit that got them to success. Man, let me continue, man. It's not a long chapter, man, but it's a powerful chapter. Here's another part that I highlighted. The fact of the matter is that aiming discipline at the right habit gives you license to be less disciplined in other areas. I'll reread that again, man. The fact of the matter is that aiming discipline at the right habit gives you license to be less disciplined in other areas. Man, I just said that, man. Like these motherfuckers, like they're human, bro. They're human. They do all kinds of shit. They be cheating on their wives, cheating on their husbands. The CEO, I think he was an astrophysicist. He was at the Coldplay concert. Y'all seen the shit. The dude he was hugged up with the old snow bunny lady, old lady. They was booed the fuck up, yo. They was in bliss. They was in it, yo. They were grooving, man. They was in a vibe, yo. But that's a great example. Here you go. You got this I believe he was a billionaire or worth billions. I don't know his net worth, but he was a very wealthy person, right? Look at his lifestyle on display, right? He did all of that shit. All that his shit he was doing was wrong. But what got him to success was that one habit, that the habits that got him to success. Oh, that's a great example, man. Like they don't talk about these things, bro. They don't talk about these things. They always say, hey, you got to do this right. You got to do that. Gary Keller saying you ain't got to do everything right. It ain't about doing every fucking thing right. Just get that one habit or the habits that you need that's going to get you to success. That's the shit that people don't talk about. Thank you, Gary Keller, for clearing the airways for myself, for my mental stability, because I'm like, bro, I don't have everything under control. I don't have everything in the right manner. I don't have everything. I can't do everything right. I'm learning, bro. I'm learning, but I'm like, yo, how do I do this? Gary Keller, thank you. He's like, bro, just find the one thing, find the right thing that's going to get you there, bro. Whatever you need, that thing, whatever it is, Just do that, bro. Everything else, man. Now, I'm not saying be careless. I don't want to imply that I am insinuating that Gary Keller is saying being careless. I'm not saying that. I am saying that, yo, think about, like, I'm going to talk about myself. I have to think about one thing, at least one thing, that I need to get me to success. That's what I need to focus on. Not focus on everything, but one thing that's going to get me to success. Two more things that I'm going to talk about. And I will talk about Michael Phelps because he mentioned his name. And then I'll also talk about the 66 days to the sweet spot. I guess we can go and talk about the 66 days of sweet spot right now since I'm already on it. Let's see, one part that I highlighted. You know what? I'll just read the entire chapter. Well, not the entire chapter. Holy shit. This paragraph here. He says, discipline and habit. Honestly, most people never really want to talk about these. Right? I just said that. We don't want to talk about that shit. Honestly, most people never really want to talk about these. Discipline and habit. Right? We always talk about the discipline, but we never want to talk about the habit. And who can blame them? I don't either. The images these words conjure in our heads are something hard and unpleasant. Just reading the words is exhausting, but there's good news. The right discipline goes a long way. The right discipline goes a long way. And habits are hard only in the beginning. Over time, the habit you're after becomes easier and easier to sustain. It's true. Habits require much less energy and effort to maintain than to begin. Put up with the discipline long enough to turn it into a habit, and the journey feels different. Lock in one habit so it becomes part of your life, and you can effectively ride the routine with less wear and tear on yourself. The hard stuff becomes habit, and the habit makes the hard stuff easy. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. That's what I gotta work on it. I have to work on it. Find the one fucking thing, that one habit that I need that's gonna get me to success. Focus on that. Now the 66 day sweet spot. So there was a study at the University College of London. And so, in a nutshell, what they found out, I'll just read this paragraph to give it more full context. So, how long do you have to maintain discipline? Researchers at the University College of London have the answer. In 2009, they answered the question, how long does it take to establish a new habit? They were looking for the moment when a new behavior becomes automatic or ingrained. The point of automaticity came with participants when participants were 95% through the power curve. And he talks about the power curve, and I'll show you what the power curve is right here. This little thing he talks about right here, right there. So he talks about that, and I didn't want to get too far into it, but I just want to show a little context of what the hell I'm talking about. And the effort needed to sustain it was about as low as it would get. They asked students to take on exercises and diet goals for a period of time and monitor their process. The results suggest that it takes an average of 66 days to acquire a new habit. So if you are looking for that habit, this study suggested that it takes an average of 66 days to acquire a new habit. The full range was 18 to 254 days, but the 66 days represented a sweet spot, with easier behaviors taking fewer days on average and tough ones taking longer. Another part that I highlighted, it takes time to develop the right habit. It takes time to develop the right habit. So don't give up too soon. Decide what the right one is, then give yourself all the time you need and apply all the discipline you can summon to develop it. That's powerful, man. That's powerful, man. So 66 days is the sweet spot for you to develop that habit, whatever it may be, whatever it may be, whatever you are focusing on or whatever you're trying to do. Like for myself, I'm trying to be successful. I need a habit, something that's going to get me to the next level. I need to focus on that, give myself time, but keep at it. He said, decide what the right one is, then give yourself all the time you need and apply all the discipline you can summon to develop it. Another part, sustain the discipline long enough on one habit, and not only does it become easier, but so do other things as well. It's why those with the right habits seem to do better than others. They're doing the most important thing regularly, and as a result, everything else is easier. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, so he talks about Michael Phelps. Just a little bit of the background. I'm not going to read the entire thing. Well, no, I'm not going to read the entire thing. But basically, Michael Phelps, if you don't know who he is, I don't know much about him. I do know the name, and I do know he's a swimmer, an Olympic swimmer. Right? So what they were saying is that he was diagnosed with ADHD as a child. And so he was, what's the word? His kindergarten teacher told his mother that Michael can't sit still. Michael can't be quiet. He's not gifted. These are the things that they were saying about him as a child. And it says, your son will never be able to focus on anything. Bob Bowman, his coach since age 11, reports that Michael spent a lot of time on the side of the pool by the lifeguard stand for disruptive behavior. So he had a lot of disruptive behaviors as a kid. I didn't know that about him. That same time, that same misbehavior had cropped up from time to time in his adult life as well. I don't want to bring too much up about his adult life. I mean, that's not what I'm trying to do. And here's a key word: selected discipline. That's a key word that I highlighted. And that's what Gary Keller said about Michael Phelps, is that he became a selected, Michael Phelps became a person of selected discipline. So here's his story. They were saying from age 14 through the Beijing Olympics, Michael Phelps trained 7 days a week, 365 days a year. He figured that by training on Sundays, he got a 52 training day advantage on the competition. He spent up to 6 hours in the water each day. Channeling his energy is one of his great strengths, said Bowman. Not to oversimplify, but it's not a stretch to say that Phelps channeled all his energy into one discipline that developed into one habit: swimming daily. Right? So I'm saying all of that to say, they brought up his history in terms of him having the ADHD, and he was always misbehaving, so on and so forth. But he found that one thing that got him over the hump to success, man, which was just swimming daily. Just swim fucking every fucking day. He did that, and he said up to 6 hours a day. That was his thing. It got him to where he needed to be, an Olympian. It sounds crazy, man. It sounds crazy, bro, because that's not how successful people talk about it. They talk about all these crazy routines that they have, this mindset that they have. They do all of this stuff, man. Gary Keller is saying, bro, them motherfuckers lying. They just got a habit, bro. They created a habit. They have a routine, and they mastered that shit, and that got them to where they needed to be.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Oh, man. Motherfuckers be lying. Successful people be lying, man. I don't know why they want to lie. Maybe it's a human thing. They want to make themselves look good. I don't know, bro. Thank you, Gary Keller, for just breaking that shit down in the simplest way. Bro, I got, for myself, man, I got to find a habit that's going to get me to the next phase in my life and get me to where I need to be. That's simple, man. I hope what I did share with you made some sense. And if you disagree, man, I would love to hear why you disagree. So far, I'm on board with what he's saying, bro. I like that. It's not about doing everything right. Just do one fucking thing right at least. Get that shit done. I like that idea, man. Man, I appreciate you for checking out the stream. Let me know your thoughts, man. Hit the like button for me. Send me some comments. Let me know your thoughts, man. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't done so, subscribe, man. As always, peace, man. Whoo! Whoo! You gotta have peace, man. Ooh, I'm saying it for you and for myself. Peace of mind, man. Ooh. Ooh. And in this crazy world, things are getting super crazy and crazier as we go along, man. I always tell my bros, man, be kind to yourself, man. Treat yourself, man. Treat yourself well as much as possible, man. Because the world ain't gonna do it.
Just let me eat you one time. You gonna sleep for 3 days, my baby. I'm gonna make you cry.
How you gonna show us?
Ay, ay, ay!